In this video, you will learn how to see the parts of the CSS box model and how it affects lists. As you can see, I have an unordered list here with 3 items, and I'm going to add some styles to style the background color, the width, and the border of the list itself. So I'm going to first apply it to the UL tag. I'm going to add a background color of a light blue. I'm going to add a border of thin, solid black, and I'm going to add a width of 200 pixels. Then I'll save this document and I'll reload my web page. And as you can see, we now have a list with a blue background and a black border, and it takes up 200 pixels worth of space. Then let's look at the list items themselves. So let's go in and style those. We're going to add a list li to style the lists items, and we're going to add a background color to that of a nice light gray. We'll add a border as well. We'll make that a thick border. We'll make it solid, and we'll make it red. We'll save, and then when we reload, you can see that each list item doesn't include the bullet, and each list item has some padding and spacing to the left that's included in the UL, but nothing else. Now, the first thing you might want to look at is what is this padding here? Because that's put in by almost every browser out there. So let's see if we can figure out what that is. So if we go into the HTML and add a padding left of 40 pixels, just a guess, and save. Now remember where this line is. It's right about under the S. I know this is just eyeballing it, but we're just going to see if it changes when we reload. So we'll reload, and it doesn't appear to change at all. That means that the padding that this browser, Chrome, adds to the UL list, and most likely to OL lists as well, is 40 pixels because it didn't change when we reloaded. So we know that. So one of the things you could do if you don't want that padding is you could actually add CSS to remove it. You can go into the HTML style sheet and just remove it, make it 0 pixels, and then if we save and reload, as you can see, the bullets actually disappear. They're not actually disappeared, they're off to the side. And you can see that if you change the CSS margin. Let's go take a look. If we add a margin left to the UL, of 40 pixels and then save it. When we reload, it moves it back over to about the same position it was before, but now the bullets are displayed. That's because the bullets aren't actually part of the padding, they're part of the list. The way you want to get rid of the bullets is by using another style property of list style type. And we'll make that none. And if we save and reload, the bullet items disappear. But you can also affect the margin and padding of the list items themselves. So let's add another list. I'm going to add a second list in here. I'm going to actually just add the same list again. Only this time I'm going to add 2 classes. I'm going to make this first one class equals padded, and this one class equals margined. Then let's go up to the style sheet and add those classes. So the first is the padded. So we're going to add padding to the padded style, and we'll add padding of 10 pixels. And then we want the margin style, and we're going to add margin of 10 pixels to that as well. And let's see how that changes the list from the first list to the second. When we reload, we're going to get 2 lists on the page. Obviously, the first one is the same one we had before, and the second one is our one with the padded style and the margin style. And here's where you can see the difference. The padded style, item 1, has a lot more space around it, around the list item, but you still can't see the blue background color of your UL. Item 2 is the same as item 2 in the first list. And item 3, the margined one, you can actually see the blue color because the blue is the background color of the UL, which is showing through now that there's margins around this item. It doesn't affect the width of the list at all. The list is still 200 pixels wide because that's not changed. It just changes how much space there is in between the word start and the edge of the list item. And that's how the CSS box model affects lists.